Let's look at the Unit 1 Common Assessment. We'll have an overview. We'll look at the reading, the multiple choice, and the writing. Let's dive in. So the test will have 3 sections: reading, multiple choice, and writing. You'll have 2 full classes to take the exam. Day 1 is for the reading and the multiple choice. Day 2 is for the writing and any leftover time to review your work. You'll take the test on Edulastic, which is a platform you should know about. Okay, let's look at day 1. That is the reading and multiple choice. So you're going to read a dystopian science fiction short story and then answer multiple choice questions based on that reading. Because it's fiction, we'll look at the 3 C's: characterization, conflict and resolution, and change. These are the ideas to keep in mind as you read, and they should serve as the basis for your reading notes. Remember, when it comes to characterization, pay attention to what is the character saying, how do they look, their actions, thoughts, and effect on others. These are the things to look for that will tell you the character traits. So here's an example of my own reading notes tracking characterization. You see that I have 2 characterization notes here for Jonas on the right, and I use these to guide me to theme. So I say that Jonas starts off as kind of ignorant or not knowing about the world around him, but then he changes because he becomes knowledgeable. This change in characterization leads me to a theme. I say the message is, gaining knowledge leads us to doubt our world. So you might get a multiple choice question. So let's consider how we can use those margin notes to guide us on a question such as this. What statement best reflects the theme in chapters 11 and 12 of The Giver? The steps I would take: I would reread my notes, identify the key words from those notes, and then test all the multiple choice options to see which one makes the most sense using process of elimination. Okay, so if I were to look back at my notes, my big ideas are Jonas is ignorant, becomes knowledgeable, and then questions his world. You see on the top here, the multiple choice question. The only option that really makes the most sense is C. It captures how he becomes knowledgeable and eventually doubts his community. The other options don't really seem to make that much sense. I tested them all and used process of elimination. Now quickly, you might have a part B question. So you answered question 1. Question 2 might say, what detail from the story supports your answer to part A? So to answer that, I would reread my answer to part A, think about those key ideas, and then test all the options for part B. Ask yourself, which detail best shows an example of my answer to part A? The ideas from part A were knowledgeable and doubtful. So I would look for those ideas when thinking about this part B question. Which answer choice shows knowledgeable and doubtful? Well, they all look good, to be honest, but there's only one option that shows doubtful. Do you see which one it is? The answer to question 2 is B. All the answer choices show Jonas as becoming knowledgeable. However, B is the only one that also expresses him doubting his community. If I had reread my answer to part A and thought about those key ideas, it would have guided me to the correct answer on part B. Okay, quickly, let's touch on the writing for this exam. That is on day 2, and you're going to write a paragraph. That's 8 to 10 sentences, 2 pieces of evidence in colors. Remember, when we say in colors, that means claim, evidence, reasoning. Your claim is in pink. That's your argument, which answers the question, and it shows your big idea for the whole paragraph to come. Your claim in pink is always the first sentence of your paragraph. Then you give your evidence in green. That is a detail or example that shows the idea you're trying to prove. Okay, it's an example of your claim. And then finish up with some blue, reasoning. That comes after your evidence. It explains your evidence and describes how your evidence supports your claim. Here is a full paragraph. Notice it's 8 to 10 sentences. Also notice that I give pink, green, and blue, then I give another section of green. That's because it's my second piece of evidence. A full paragraph means 2 pieces of evidence, and it means 2 sections of green. Do not put both pieces of evidence together. Be sure to separate them. So you need to explain your first piece of evidence with blue before you move on to your second piece of evidence. So if I look at your paragraphs, I should see 2 separate sections of green and 2 separate sections of blue, as you see here. What you're looking at here is the question you will get on the common assessment itself. This is it. Paragraph response. How does the author use characterization to reveal a theme in the text? So going back to that example from the giver, it's basically the same question, right? How does the author use characterization to reveal a theme? And if I was going to answer that question, I would ask myself this thinking question of how has the character developed? What message is the author trying to send through that character development, right? How characters change is a pathway to theme. The author's trying to send us a message based on how that character changes or develops. Look at my claim in the bottom. You'll notice it's 1 sentence, and it's strong because it captures both how the character changes, becoming doubtful, and it names a theme. Sacrificing uniqueness isn't worth it. Your claim on the common assessment should do the same. Express the characterization and name the theme. Thanks for watching this video. I'll wrap up by suggesting that you go to the classwork page and look at the English Basics 1-pager. It's right under additional materials, as you see here. It's got some helpful tips and 1-pagers and videos that can help you prepare for the assessment. So give it a look before the test. I would also recommend rewatching this video or reviewing the slides from this video. Links for both of those are at the bottom of your classwork for today. Good luck on the test. Reach out with any questions. Thanks.